Hi everybody, once again Dr. Salim is here with you guys. A doctor asked two questions on the YouTube channel. Actually, I will say thank you for that question. When what he brought up, maybe this can help you also if you have this confusion or this question. One question was that what is the difference between dynamic range and dynamic contrast? So first of all, the dynamic range is a knob, it's a button. We play with this button to make the contrast resolution of the picture. So what we do when we increase or decrease the dynamic range, it means we all know that the picture is made of shades of gray. So sometimes we need more shades of gray for a picture, and sometimes we need less shades of gray for the picture. So if whenever we want to change the contrast of the picture, then we change or we play with the knob. It's called dynamic range. So dynamic range is a button, or we can say that's the button which processes the contrast resolution. And then the difference between dynamic contrast and dynamic or contrast resolution, there is no difference. So I will say simply, let's make it more simple and easy, that dynamic contrast is the outcome of adjusting our dynamic range knob or button. That will be one of the questions. So again, one is a button when you play with that, and the other one, the dynamic contrast, is the result of that dynamic range, where you increase it or decrease it. So keep in mind, the dynamic range is actually, the knob goes by the percentage. We increase it and decrease it. You guys know that where to decrease, where to increase, correct? So for the solid organs, we increase the dynamic range. Actually, your contrast resolution drop, your dynamic contrast drop actually on that one. And then when you're looking for any structure which is inside is like a fluid filled structure, we can say. So it's not a solid organ. Like for example, you're looking for the echocardiography or 2D imaging of the heart chambers, or if you're looking to gallbladder or urinary bladder or cyst or something fluid filled structure. So we decrease the dynamic range to increase the contrast resolution, or we can say dynamic contrast. And the other question the person asked for, that was also a nice and good question, that what is the difference between the focal zone and transmit zone? That's very small difference between them. The focal zone is an area and an ultrasound beam which half of this, exactly equally half of this, is in the near field, and equally half of this will be in the far field. So, or you can say in ZL1 and in ZL2. So focal zone is equally spaced in the sound beam on the far field and near field of the beam, if you just make it with two sections. So we can say where the focal point is, exactly the focal point or the focus is, that is the transmit zone, because the sound beam is converging to a point, and after that it will diversion. So the sound beam is getting narrow to a narrowest point, and after that it will get wider and wider. So we can say the focal point or focus is the transmit zone, where the beam is the narrowest, and that will be the, we can say, transmit zone. And the focal zone is relatively the narrow area of the beam, which is half of this is in the near field and half of this is in the far field, or you can say on both sides of the focal point, relatively the beam is narrower. So it's not the narrowest, but it's relatively narrow area for both sides, that side of the focal point and this side, and that is actually called the focal zone. So once again, focal zone is equally on the far field and near field, but that is the area close to the focal point. So keep in mind, maybe that information can help you. And the person who asked, I hope he can see the video and can get to the point. Still, if any of you have any kind of confusion, and all these small clips or videos, or doesn't matter if you have any question and related to the ultrasound physics or neurology, so please just don't hesitate. Just freely let me know, or you can comment on my videos. Then I will try my best to make it as easier as possible for understanding purposes, that you get the point. and sit for your SPI examination of the ultrasound from the ARDMS or any other local exams or any national international examination. But please do not forget to share the channel and subscribe it as well. Take care.